Hi, Mark McNutt here to do the monthly astrological update here on YouTube. And a lot going on this month, a month of Aquarius. It just so happens that I do these at the new moon every month. And so we're at a point in the cycle where the base 13 lunar cycle and the base 12 solar cycle are lining up. So the sun goes into Aquarius and it's a new moon right there on January 21st. This particular new moon is special in a lot of ways. Most importantly, it's Chinese New Year, alias Lunar New Year. Now, for some reason, the Chinese start their calendars at when it's the new moon in the sun in Aquarius, and it's always between January 20th and February 19th, which is when the sun is in Aquarius, and whenever that new moon happens. So it happens nice and early this year, and so that's a time of new beginnings for everybody really, and we all have our own perspective. For me, since I'm born at the end of Aquarius, that's part of my perspective, but also for all of us, every new moon is a new opportunity. It's a time to reset the emotional calendar and to say, okay, what are the themes of this month? So for us, across the board, the theme of Aquarius has to do with humanity, has to do with people, has to do with ideals, and really being the global context of what is possible. So even if let's say you're a Leo and it's the doldrum time, because the time opposite your birthday is usually less of an enthusiastic potential for you. But even if you're some other sign, the Aquarian times will really stimulate the connection with people and with the fostering of new ideas, and really realizing that we're all here together. Now, Uranus rules Aquarius, and it looks like kind of a Nabisco cookie sort of thing in the horoscope. And Uranus, which is not Uranus, it's just not. Anyway, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, and it's stationary right now, slowing down to a stop after doing months of retrograde. And then before this lunar month is over, Uranus will start moving forward again through the sign Taurus, and lots to look forward to there. That's probably more next month's news, because Uranus, when planets are stationary, they don't move much, and their effect is more like a photograph rather than a movie. They're very impressive. So strong Uranian energy this month. Also, Mars has just come out of retrograde about a week ago, on about the 12th of January, and the planet Mercury is coming out of retrograde today, which is January 18th. So Mercury, a lot of people glom onto the Mercury retrograde aspect because Mercury has everything to do with your cell phones, being on the internet, YouTube videos, communication on a massive level. And so Mercury being retrograde, it affects the electronics, the subtle EMF that is vibing through everything. So Mercury retrograde can short circuit your cell phone, and it can also short circuit your mind, because we have lots of magnetite in our brain, at least enough to function and deal with a three-dimensional world. And so when Mercury is retrograde, what happens is the neurons don't synapse in the same way. Now, 20% of us were born under Mercury retrograde, and that would include myself and a lot of people I know and love. And our mind tends to work differently. Those of us who have a retrograde planet, such as Mercury, when that planet is retrograde, we're able to navigate a lot better. So there's certain people I know and love where I can just about set a watch with, Mercury going retrograde and direct, direct being forward, because the changes are self-evident. So Mercury is coming out of retrograde. There a lot of more casual astrologer interest people will say, oh, okay, Mercury is going direct at this particular hour, which in this case was like 5 in the morning today, West Coast time. But the thing is, it takes a day or two to turn around and actually build up some motion. However, when Mercury is stationary like it is now, what happens is the effects of Mercury are even stronger. So we have very strong Mercury right now, very strong Mars, very strong Uranus, all coming out of retrograde at this time. And I find this all exciting. This is a time that can be full of new beginnings, full of fresh starts, a time to put your ideals into action as Mars is in trine with the Sun and Moon at this point, and also a time to reassess from the many years, starting with the pandemic and the eclipse that happened on January 10th, 2020 in Wuhan, China. So starting with that point, we've been dealing very strongly with the lessons of Pluto being in the tail end of Capricorn and upsetting government, upsetting structure, upsetting the way things have been done for a long time. Pluto's about to enter Aquarius in about 2 months, but right now Pluto is at the tail end of Capricorn, and right now, as I speak, it's conjunct the Sun in the tail end of Capricorn, and then in a few days it's going to be Sun and Moon in Aquarius, conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. That means a lot of transformation in the air, a lot of it's kind of like the final step of a lot of restructuring that has been taking place over the last few years. And again, I find this very exciting because opportunities abound. And then Mars coming out of retrograde, we can kind of bury the hatchet with a lot of old situations and old resentments and power struggles and things like that, and move to a new place with that. So the next month or so, Mars will be moving across the same area that it's been moving across, and make the same aspects that it's been making for a number of months now, since the fall. And so Mars in Gemini is about taking strong action with ideas, with communication, with recognizing that a lot of juggling is going on, but we can be really focalized with it. The planets right now, wish I could, almost do it. Okay, the planets look like this on the ascendant. So they've got 5/12 of the circle, quincunx, and Mercury on one end in Capricorn, which is about getting the structure together and communicating that and making plans for the future, having to do with business and ideas in that direction, and Mercury on one end and Mars on the other in Geminis, and that's about taking action. Now, none of this bodes well for the economy or the stock market. Those are different, aspects that I'm not going to be commenting on here, except to say that all the factors are in the air for a little backsliding there. But on the other hand, I wanted to talk about personal initiative, personal values, and the best time to prepare for the future is when everything else is falling away. And that's exactly where we are now. The planet Saturn is also in Aquarius, and Venus has been catching up to that. So right here at the new moon, Saturn conjunct Venus, that's going to be perfect for doing a lot, in Aquarius also. Not conjunct the Sun and Moon, but also in Aquarius. 4 planets. We're moving from 2 planets in Aquarius as I speak to this weekend, 4 planets in Aquarius. And Saturn conjunct Venus, good time to make commitments in terms of social life, a good time to do social planning. And if you're, looking to, well, tie the knot or make a commitment, such as, you know, a relationship commitment, really good for that too. Um, and a good time to rekindle friendships, as this, you know, the sign Aquarius is the sign of friends and hopes and wishes and all that. Again, we're blessed with a very opportune time, which may not be so obvious to some, and yet just like a baby is born after a passage of drama, we can move into this next phase, you know, full bore and really excited. So I'm personally want to be the cheerleader for the next phase, for not looking back on our laurels, but for moving forward into the next phase. Now, I will also want you to like us, and also like us here, join up and subscribe. Costs you nothing. This is my give back to, as an Aquarian Piscean cusp, I'm giving back to the world. And also astrowizardry.com, and you can contact me personally at astrowizardry@gmail, and I love to do personal horoscopes. I don't do reports. I don't talk about your sun is in blah blah, so therefore all the rest of your chart doesn't matter. No, I'm a Moon in Virgo. I like to focus, and so get your individual reading, because that's a way of thanking me for my time, and thanking Kate for her time filming us and doing all the wonderful cat footage and all that here in Deadwood. So that's it. So yeah, love to hear from you. Comments are always appreciated, even if they're not the comments that I want to appreciate. Can't think of any of those offhand, but like us. And the time of Aquarius is an excellent time for getting your reading done as well. So wishing you the best here. Happy Chinese New Year.